It's a sunny day in Birmingham. It's around noon, and the kids are outside playing in the neighborhood. There's a nice breeze coming in from the west. Charles Turk sits on the porch of his best friend's home in the Southtown housing projects. He'd been sitting there for hours, waiting for his friend's return. He didn't even know if his friend still lived there, but looking down at that old doormat that said, "God bless this home," made him feel like his chances were pretty good. The doormat looked like it was plastered to the concrete. It made him laugh. He thought about how black people, himself included, could be living so far from the straight and narrow and be the most spiritual people in the world. He began to remember the fun times he had growing up in the Southtown projects. Much had changed in the seemingly short 9 years he'd been gone. The projects themselves pretty much looked the same given the wear and tear of time and the graffiti artists, but the area around had gotten a facelift. Birmingham for decades had been the mecca for healthcare in the South, and in some fields of medicine in the world. And the South Side of Birmingham had the gift and curse of being the home for this plethora of medical wonders. The Southtown housing projects was right in the middle. Nowadays, the residents were always dealing with constant construction from new medical research buildings and the greedy realty companies who wanted to cash in on the wealth by building lofts and townhomes for resident doctors and the hundreds of students going to the medical university. He laughed. Maybe the cops would start patrolling the area more with all the fancy new offices and condos surrounding the area. Even though the homes in this neighborhood weren't condos, he enjoyed staying here on the south side of town. He and his mother moved there after his father died. There was a lot of mystery surrounding the death of his father. His father was a fireman for the Tuscaloosa Fire Department. One night, on his way home from Tuscaloosa, his car caught on fire, and he was burned alive. There wasn't enough of him to bury. The strange part is that no one was able to pinpoint the cause of the fire. Life insurance paid for the cremation, but since Turk's father had only been a fireman for a year and a half, there was no retirement money coming to Charles and his mother, so they had to move out of their home and into the projects. They made the best of it. Charles knew that his mother hated to have to raise him in that environment. Someone was always shooting or getting shot, or the cops were always arresting someone. It made her constantly worry about his safety. Eventually, Charles's mother got a good enough job to move them out of the projects. Charles continued to keep in touch with all of his friends through the years. When Charles went off to college, he thought he'd never see this place again. But here he was, sitting on Slap's porch. How did I end up here? He stood up, looking to see a hint of familiarity. He remembered that Slap had this old 85 Ford Crown Victoria. Slap fixed the car up and made it look great. He used to put it in local car shows. He didn't see it coming down the road, but he heard a familiar tune. The kids next door are listening to the local radio station during the station's power lunch groove, and a song by the Big Timers rap group comes on. The song is "Get Your Roll On." Turk remembered how much he hated that song when it first came out, but it grew on him. But that's what was so significant about the song. It came out around the same time that he first went off to college, when it all started. Charles started thinking about the beginning, how his life took an extreme left. It all started the year that he went off to college. When Charles graduated from high school, he stayed out for a year instead of going straight to college like most students. He had a job working in his doctor's office. Dr. Fells had been his doctor for as long as he could remember. Michael, Charles's father, had been great friends with Dr. Fells. When Michael died, Dr. Fells continued to see Charles and his mother most of the time free of charge. Dr. Fells was one of Charles's favorite people. He looked at Dr. Fells as a father. Dr. Fells always came out and supported Charles throughout his life. When Charles turned 16, he started working in Dr. Fells' office doing little odd jobs. He continued to work for him until he went off to college. That spring before college, Charles started having these dreams. Dreams that were so intense they didn't seem like dreams at all. They seemed real. "Can I help you?" A voice called out from the door behind him. Charles quickly turns around to an unfamiliar face. Despite that, he decided to inquire anyway. "Yeah, man, does Slap still live here by any chance?" "Who's asking?" "Tell him it's Turk from around the corner." It felt good to Charles to say that again. He hadn't been Turk from around the corner in years. Charles stood on the spiritual doormat. The young man at the door looked at Charles with an awkward eye. And who could blame him? It was nearly 85 degrees in Birmingham, where the humidity made it feel like 95 degrees, and Charles was wearing black nylon jogging pants and a black cotton hooded sweater with the hood put over his head. "Hold on, man. Hey, Slap, some cat named Turk here to see you." The guy faded into the background as Turk peered into the home through the screen door. He was excited. Finally, something was going his way for a change. Not only did he make it safely to Slap's home, but Slap still lived there. On top of that, Slap is home, alive. The way that Slap lived, Turk thought for sure that Slap would be in prison, or even worse, dead. Seeing his friend of 18 years was going to be one of the first things that had felt normal since he left for college. "Turk, is that you?" Charles turned around, took the hood slightly off his head and smiled. "What's up, baby boy?" They give each other the usual handshake combo. The right shoulder to right shoulder, left arm on the back combo. "I'm good, man. I'm doing really good." Trying to take his mind off the lie he had just told his best friend, Turk turned his attention to Slap's appearance. Turk remembered how chubby Slap was back in the day. In fact, that's how he got his nickname. At first, people were calling him Slab because they said he looked like a slab of meat. But over time, due to miscommunication and the lazy speech of the neighbors, people started calling him Slap. But now he was a sack of muscles. "I see you took my advice and put that fork down." "Yeah, well, that's what 7 years in prison will do for you." Charles tried to look surprised at what Slap had just said, but he was only surprised at the fact that Slap had gotten out. "So what's been up, Turk? Last time I heard you was up in Huntsville doing your thing. They said you had got married and everything." "Yeah, well, I'll tell you all about it, but can we talk about it inside?" Slap noticed that something was bothering Turk. "Yeah, man, that's what's up. Come on in." "Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I was sweating bullets out here." The two men walk in. "Have a seat. Take a load off. I'll be right back." Slap heads upstairs. Charles instantly had one of those rare moments of comfort again. The home was exactly how he remembered it. Right next to the door was an old end table with a lamp. Charles remembered knocking over the original lamp and having to save his allowance for a summer to replace it with the one that was sitting there now. He cracked a smile when he thought of the butt whipping he received from both he and Slap's mother for playing in the house in the first place. He never went long for a pass in anyone else's house again. There was that same old blue couch and love seat with furniture covers on them. Charles and Slap used to watch Saturday night's main event sitting on that couch, and would move the coffee table out of the way so they could wrestle after the show ended. He had spent a lot of time there since his mother worked crazy hours in the summer. Right above the television was a picture of Jesus. What family in the projects was complete without it? It was always funny to Turk because for as long as he'd known Slap, his mother was the shot lady. She sold liquor by the shot and ice cold Coca-Cola by the bottle. But that's what a lot of people did in the projects. Those who had cars. They'd find something to sell, and whatever they sold, the suffix of their respective gender was added to the product. That's how they received their titles. There was a lady that sold Cool Cups, frozen Kool-Aid, and she was called the Cool Cup Lady. The lady that sold candy was called the Candy Lady. The man that sold candy, cool cups, and pickles, he was just called Joe. No one ever really knew why, but that's what everyone called him. Charles definitely felt nostalgic. But this temporary feeling of nostalgia only made him even sadder. He thought about all the good things and good times and realized that things could never be the same. Times were different. He was different. The Charles Turk of times before he went out to college was no more. It also made him realize that coming here wasn't the right choice. He quite possibly could be putting his best friend and his family in harm's way. But he couldn't think of anywhere else to go. Had he stayed where he was, the men in black uniforms would catch up to him. It's been hard for Charles to make sense of the last 9 years of his life. These dreams about these men were so intense, so vivid, that he'd had a hard time determining if they were indeed dreams. Sorry about that, man. I had to pay my water bill. Slap walked down the stairs, putting on a V-neck t-shirt. He walked around to the love seat and sat down next to Turk. So what made you come all the way to the south side? Well, you in some kind of trouble, Turk? Because if you are, me and Lil Mike got your back. Who's Lil Mike? He's the one that answered the door. You don't remember him? He used to come visit us all the time when he was smaller. Remember we used to do wrestling moves on him all the time? That's who that is? Yeah, man, that's him. I'm surprised you didn't recognize him. Me either. He probably didn't recognize me because of my locks. Probably not. But he's been here for a while. When I got locked up, he stayed here and helped Mom out. How is your mom? Look at you, talking all proper now. How is your mother? You sound like you from England. Mama died about a year ago. Charles's eyes bulged in disbelief. It happened right after I got out of prison on good behavior. She found out she had cancer the year before. All that chemo was just too strong for her. It made her sicker than the disease did. I got out about 2 weeks after the doctors put her in hospice. She said she was waiting for me. And she was. She wanted me to behave. And that's what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do. I'm legit now. I work on cars for a living. Stop selling all the drugs and stuff. Mama wanted me to stop cursing too. Turk laughs. I still got some kinks to work out, but I'm getting there. That's good to hear. The thing about you being legit and all. I'm really sorry about Mama Richards. Turk knew how much Slap's mom meant to him, to the entire neighborhood. She was a loved woman, and I know this community misses her. Thanks a lot, man. That means a lot. Oh, no doubt, man. I'm just sorry that I missed the funeral. Both Turk and Slap looked off, each one lost in thought. Charles could remember how good Mrs. Richards was to the kids. In the summer, she used to rent the newest movies from the video store, and on Fridays, she'd pack her living room with kids, pop popcorn, and show the movies. It was her way of keeping the kids off the streets. It used to make Turk feel good that he didn't have to leave when the movies were over. Fridays were the nights that his mom worked the graveyard shift. She was a fine lady. The finest. Slap turned his face away to wipe the tears on his Kool-Aid stained t-shirt. So are you going to answer my question, Turk? I know you didn't ride all the way down here unannounced to play catch up. What's up, man? For real. What's up? What makes you think something's up? Everything, man. You show up on my doorstep after being MIA for almost 9 years, talking, acting, and dressing funny, and you don't think I know when something's up? Come on, it's me, Slap. I know you, Turk. Turk was a little relieved on the inside. For a moment, he thought all of Slap's questioning was because of the men in black uniforms that had been there. Turk looked away. I want to tell you, but I really don't know what to say or even where to start. I don't want you to think I'm crazy. Honestly, I'm starting to think I'm crazy. Come on, Turk, man. We've been friends for a long time. Try me. Then, two, I'm afraid to tell you because it would bring you into this mess. Chucky, you my fam, man. I'm already in it. And I just can't have that on my conscience. I don't want that on my heart. It's already enough weighing down on me. I couldn't take it anymore if something happened to you because of me. I don't know what to do. You're talking like it's something deep. Like you're into some government type trouble. Slap looks at Turk. Turk looks off. Turk. It is, isn't it? Shh. Keep it down, Slap. If I tell you, I only want you to know. I'm not even sure about any of it. My entire life is in question, man. Ever since we graduated from high school, my life's been crazy. Like I can't make sense of it. I can tell because you ain't making no sense right now. What you mean since high school? That's when they started. Who? What is they? The dreams. Dreams? Yeah, dreams. Remember when I told you I was having those bad dreams? Yeah. The ones where I was waking up violently, like whatever I'd be doing before I wake up, I'd be doing when I woke up. Yeah. And I went to a psych to make some sense of it. Yeah, I remember that. What about it? Well, I don't think that they were dream, Slap. I think they were real. What do you mean real? Like they happened in real life? Turk nods his head. Like the dreams were repressed memories. Did I ever tell you about those dreams? I mean, you said that they were disturbing, but that was about it. You never went into no details or nothing. What does that have to do with you now? Everything, man. Those dreams, they weren't the same old dreams. Each one was different, like each day. I mean, the violent dream on Monday wasn't the same violent dream on Tuesday, but they were. Know what I mean? No, I don't. I mean, they were about the same thing, but the same thing didn't happen. Slap was getting more confused with each sentence. No, man, you're not making any sense. Turk was getting frustrated also, but then he realized how foolishly he probably sounded. Slow down, Turk, he told himself. Look, Slap, my dreams, they were about me being a subject in these top secret experiments. Each time that I had one of those dreams, it was different. Like each one picked up where the other one left off. It was like I was living two lives, like two different realities. When I wake up, I'd be living in this one. But when I went to sleep, I was in that reality. It felt so real. It got to the point where I started doubting this reality, and that's why I didn't want to say anything to you. What in the hell would make you think like that? What is Chris putting in your food up in Huntsville? Slap. Chrisana is dead. What? How? I think I did it.